September is National Self-Improvement Month. It's the perfect time to make a few changes in your life. And local financial professional Mike Kojonen from Principal Preservation Services is back tonight to walk through 5 ways to make lasting change on our finances. Always good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
And of course, maybe if you want to make that lasting change, the first thing you got to do, I think, is create some goals. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anything significant in life was accomplished without setting goals. So you want to sit down, write down your long-term and short-term goals. So the short-term goals would be like buying a house, paying off debt, increasing your contributions in your retirement accounts. Those are important. Get down with your loved one to do that. But also long-term, about paying off that mortgage, or maybe buying that dream home, or having a certain amount in your retirement account, retire by a certain date. So you need to have short and long term, and also the ones in between. You don't want to just have one goal. You want to have multiple goals when it comes to setting those.
That's one thing to put those goals on the fridge, but how do you make sure you work towards each one of them?
Yeah, it's one thing just not writing them down and forgetting about it. You want to come back and keep reviewing them, keeping them in front of you. That's going to keep you focused. So as you wonder why, sometimes you're like, boy, your spouse comes, why don't we have any extra money this week, honey? Well, it's because, remember, this is what we're doing. So you always go back to why you're doing it, and the written goals will help you keep you focused.
And this one stands out to me because when you're trying to save for your finances, you're trying to maybe be strict with your money, but you talk about something about kind of going out of your comfort zone. How would you describe that? Yeah,
it's good to stretch sometimes. I remember when I was 25 years ago, I was just reflecting on, I bought my first house. And my mortgage payment was $650 a month. I'm like, this is so expensive. How am I going to afford a $650 a month mortgage? Now you look back today, the short term it looked big. Long term, it wasn't much at all. We look back today. But the same with investing. I said you need to be long term if you're investing for retirement. It might sound confusing, might sound scary, but you need to do it. And you can't look what the market did yesterday or today. You have to think long term, and you have to get out of your comfort zone. You need to be investing in your retirement.
One thing that I've learned as I've gotten older, I start to hear these conversations about mortgages and stocks and retirement, and it can be intimidating, but maybe it's good to learn some of those things as you start to get this financial independence. Yeah,
there was just a survey done that 1/3 of Americans don't know some of the basic information with finances, with mortgages, interest rates, inflation, things like that. So we need to get educated, and it's really up to us to do so.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of great books out there, podcasts we were just talking about, seminars. I do seminars, podcasts. I just had my first book was released on Amazon last week, so it's important to get educated. But I also tell people, I said, you can't get just full information, not utilize it. People get information constipation. I said that.
They get stuck, huh?
Yeah, they get stuck. They get so much information, they don't do anything. And it's actually what you do with that information will actually make that knowledge powerful. So don't just keep gathering it, utilize that information, implement it.
That's one thing to do all that research on your own, but should people also maybe seek out someone like you, or just maybe their friends that are good with their finances?
I encourage that. I don't think we should ever be in a place where we don't reach out for help. So you might feel intimidated again. Maybe you have some past failures and you don't have anything, or you had a bankruptcy. I said, that's great. You have nowhere to go but up. So grab somebody's coattails and pull on their knowledge. But also on the other side, where somebody who has had success think they don't need a mentor, they don't need a financial advisor, they don't need a coach. I said that could hurt you. That could be the first sign that failure will be coming, because you think you know so much, and you go off of what you learned 5, 10, 15 years ago. The future is going to be totally different. You need to have somebody, so you need to humble yourself. I just hired myself a financial coach here just recently, and he's kicking my rear end because I can never be comfortable enough to think I know everything. So it's so important to keep growing and learning and have somebody to help you and keep you accountable.
The financial guy has his own financial guy. I think that tells you enough. To see more of these 5 tips and for more money advice from Mike, just visit WCCO.com.